Thanks for staying with News at Prime tonight. The son of former President Jacob Zuma, Edward Zuma, says should law enforcement officers try to arrest his father, he will defend him. Mr. Zuma spoke following confirmation that the state capture inquiry will approach the highest court in the land to impose a jail term on the former president for contempt of court. Newsroom Africa's Bonga Dlulane joins us from Nkandla. Bonga, we've heard some of the statements of the president's son. Let's talk about who else was outside Nkandla today.
Well, Kathy, as you said, it was his son, Edward Zuma, was leading there, but also members of Umkhonto weSizwe Military Veterans Association were there. They've been there since yesterday, Kathy, and they're also so organized and wearing military-like uniforms, and they're very clear on the fact that they're there to defend former President Jacob Zuma, rather, and they're saying that he's being targeted, and the Zondo Commission of Inquiry is being used specifically by a certain faction of not only the judiciary and also of the ANC, but also of some people who want to see the former president go to jail. And they're saying also that based on what has been happening, his rights are being violated. Interestingly, though, when I asked what about him ignoring the fact that the Constitution says that everyone has to be compelled by the same laws, and then that's where they stumble, Kathy, and say that, but those laws, if they're being used unfairly, but they won't give us exactly how unfair that is, because at the end of the day, former President Jacob Zuma has to go and defend himself, and that the MKMVA, his supporters, who are there young and old, from different parts. There were buses there, Kathy, there were cars, people that were camping outside. There's a tent outside Nkandla, but we had to move away from that because it was raining by now. But the situation there the whole day, and there were also people who were selling memorabilia or regalia of the ANC. So a large contingent of people, Kathy, of MKMVA and also supporters were saying that they're going to be there until Friday to ensure that no one comes close to that gate who has any agenda of trying to arrest the former president.
Bonga, earlier on in the day, we also heard those that convene under the Radical Economic Transformation Champions organization, that they had been going and consulting with different traditional leaders in Nkandla to also weigh up and measure the kind of support that the former president has there. What do you know about this? And do we know if there's been any result from those consultations?
From now, Kathy, what we've gleaned and also what we've learned from the people we're speaking to and what you've mentioned also is that they're trying to garner as much support as possible. There's a belief here, Kathy, that as much as the former president has to appear before the commission or in front of adhering to the constitutional court orders, but they also believe that the systems and the way that the process has been done are not fair towards him. So they're basically saying they're going to drum up support from all corners of the country, from everyone who wants to support former President Jacob Zuma to ensure that the country knows and that they are behind him 100%. Interestingly, when you ask them exactly as to what's different about former President Zuma, why shouldn't we be held to the same laws as everyone else? And they're saying that that's not the case. They're not saying you must break the law, but they're saying that the law must be applied the same way to him fairly. But when you try to probe more as to where it is unfair, then that's what they trump up, okay? But his supporters seems that every time his legal troubles get more and more, even his supporters get more emboldened to defend him even more. So there's that contradiction there, okay, that they say he wants to abide by the laws. They'll protect him with their bodies even, their words, and that they'll lie on the road if anyone comes through there, whether it's a SAPS vehicle or a Hawks vehicle, that's what they're going to do. But if you want to find out from them exactly who is behind this conspiracy that they believe is against the former president, that's when they back off and won't give more detail. So I guess that's how conspiracy theories work, that there's more theory and less substance. And it seems like some supporters of that theory that he is being targeted, at the same time, they're there to protect him.
Bonga, let's take a look at the issue of the broader community. You know, some of the members of the community around where the president lives. How concerned are people about what is happening? I mean, do they even care? Are they even interested in some of these developments?
We spoke to them, some of them, but they don't want to. A lot of them are very reluctant to speaking to us on air, even if they're hiding their identities. But what you get there is a sense of a community that's protective of the former president. They call him Mubaba. Some of the women we spoke to were also saying that he's their husband and they're there to protect him. So you can get the sense that these are all people who want to show themselves as protecting a man they believe has done great for this community. Also, when you try to also get more information as to what's happening there, some of them, they're treating it like it's a festival because they're there, they're happy, they're enjoying themselves. And others are saying that they've taken time off somewhere to come to show the kind of support because they believe he's a leader. They call him Ubaba. They're saying that he's done all these amazing things for them, not only in this community, but also when he was president. And then when you ask about the issues of the ANC then, because the ANC has always says it supports the commission. So where does former President Jacob Zuma refusing to go put the ANC? And that's where they say that, well, you know, in the ANC there's different people, and they won't say that former President Jacob Zuma is being targeted by the current president, but that's what they're insinuating, that, you know, in the ANC right now, not everyone speaks the same language because of these issues, because of the factions. But they say that they want the world to know that they are behind one man, and that's the former president. And they say that they'll go to wherever he goes, as far as he goes, to ensure that his support, they'll hire any bus, they'll camp up anywhere, so that people know that they will not let him go without a fight. So that's a community, Kathy, who sees the former president as a hero, someone who's done a lot to uplift them, and they believe now is their time to return the favor by ensuring that they protect him, and that's using their words.
All right, Bonga, just before I let you go, what happens next? We've heard the Zondo Commission's intent to go back to the Constitutional Court on the issue of the contempt of court. But for those who've been outside that homestead, what are their plans?
Well, Kathy, for now, we heard from Edward Zuma promising from changing locksmith and the door everyone comes to arrest him to laying his life to protect his father. But for those who are there, they're planning to camp out there until Friday. I don't know how they're going to factor in the inclement weather now because it's starting to rain, and the South African Weather Service has warned that we might see a few days of rain here in KZN for this week. But they're very sure, and they've been very emphatic with the fact that they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to stay because they don't want to see any surprise arrest. They don't want to see anyone coming in there from today until Friday. They don't want to see anyone trying to come and convince the former president, people they don't like, basically people they don't trust. And the MKMVA has promised that they'll keep on checking. We did hear rumors that the Youth League might also pay a visit, but that was not given a date or any credibility if that's something that will happen. But for now, Kathy, it seems that people have planned themselves around surrounding Nkandla to ensure that what they call is a threat against the former president, not only on him, but his life and also his freedom is protected. How that works against police, what will happen if police should come, is something that we'll have to wait and see. But for now, you have a community here that's protecting a man they believe is being unfairly targeted, and they believe it's being done by some in the ANC. The judiciary, which they think is being politicized and is only targeting certain people and stripping them of their rights. Case in point is the former President Jacob Zuma.
All right, Bonga Dulani, let's leave it there for tonight. Bonga is out in Nkandla, just outside the home of the former President Jacob